Okay, guys, welcome back. Someone asked me lately, Sjoerd, what are you doing in these manifesting groups? Do you do some secret rituals? How do you manifest? This it sounds so spooky to me, and I say like, well, it is so easy actually. So let's just give you a small introduction at how this manifesting stuff really works. It's not so secret actually, but let me reveal it. Up. Okay. This this is you. You have the ego structure, um, and that is thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. 99% is unconscious, right? And this is what we work with. And we use the 3D as feedback data to show us what we have in terms of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in our system. So a situation is not always so relevant that is being created, but it's more like the emotions that we bring that are brought up, um, um, and these are the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs we're going to work on and find the core belief underneath that, root that out, reframe that, transform that, and this is how you transform your ego structure. So basically the hard work is like becoming a detective of how you have programmed yourself, because if you reprogram yourself, your frequency will change and thus your reality will change. And do I have something to clean that wall with? So let's give an example then. What would be a good example? So let's say, so your subconscious programming, you can see that you have a belief underneath a belief underneath a belief. So you have a whole network of all kind of beliefs that you think about society to be and yourself. This is picked up by society, by school systems, and what you've read, and so this is what you start to believe about the world to be, and that's what you're going to see reflected into the reality. But if you start to do inner work and you change the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about who you are, and that's the gift you have in 3D actually. That's a gift that most animals, maybe some more evolved animals, don't have. You have the capacity to understand that you are not who you think you are. You have the capacity to observe what you think. So you become the observer of your thoughts. And if you become the observer of your thought, you can also reprogram the thoughts and emotions and beliefs. And then you create a different personality, right? You stay still the same person, but basically apart from that, you can mold yourself into anything in the 3D. And that's the gift that you have in the 3D. But if you think you are the person that you see in the outside world, and that reflects back, and you start believing you are that person around you, you're basically not evolving, because you just hold yourself in some sort of frame of reprogram yourself all the time the same person. So you have to hold an image about what you like to become in your future desired version. That image has to be stronger, being able to override the version that you're right now. So your ideal version that you like to live, that your higher self is beaming at you with integrity, of course, to not harm anyone else, because what you send out, this come back to you. So you don't want to have an low frequency idea. You always want to do it with the idea that whatever you want to have manifested in the 3D is also what you would have done unto you. So something in service to the world. And then that is what you start to embody in the present moment. So not with an idea of in the future, but you bring it to the now, as in now. And what happens if it's still recording? This is you. What happens if you start to embody your future desired version, an image, whatever it is, your love life, money, house, blah, blah. You command your ego structure to eliminate or to surface the beliefs, thoughts, and feelings from the unconscious programming to the surface, and that's comes up through triggers and contrast. That's so at the moment you start to imagine stuff and you be that person, the universe will help you to reveal what what truth must be revealed from your conscious programming that stops that from not experiencing. And most therapists do not understand that you have to embody your future desired version extremely strong, because this is actually the pressure build up, so to speak, to release the resistance and the trauma, so to speak, whatever the trauma may be, because trauma is a relative thing. But this has to be the focus point. The future desired version has to be the focus point, because if the focus point would be on the past, which is created from the present, bit of a long story, your focus point will be on the past, and you recreate the past in the future, so you create more problems, right? So dream big, embody that, and then what happens? You start to embody that imaginated version, and you do not try to figure out anything in the days. You try to follow up your highest excitement every given day. That brings you through a path, right, over time, that leads to life circumstances that trigger things in your subconscious programming. Something happens, these triggers hold beliefs in, feelings and thoughts that are limited in function to where you want to go. This wants to be transformed, and that's pretty much simple. So it's a co-creation between the life circumstances that you meet, which is actually an integrated part of your persona. So you have to see the reality as a part of you. So so you dialogue, you communicate with the life circumstances you encounter and see them as a co-creative component to help you to grow. So if you encounter shit in your reality, or you experience that as shit because the circumstances is always neutral, it's a gift on another level. Because what we say, the bigger the trigger you can transform in a given moment, like fear, sadness, or whatsoever, is equivalent to the speed towards your desired version. So Esther Hicks is a bit, she says like, reach out to better feeling, waver a bit away of a negative thing. I understand that what she wanted to say, but there's actually a few more layers much deeper to it. What Bashar also expresses is, try to look at that negative emotion for the fullest, go as deep into it as possible, and truly feel that negative emotion for the fullest, and then ask yourself what you must feel and think to believe to be true about yourself to feel or think in a certain way. And then an answer comes up, and then you peel off another answer, and you will see that it comes back from some sort of a past experiences that hold no solid meaning, but has not really, it's an old fear that you picked up through some sort of a life circumstance before. So if you can transform that at that given moment, then this negative experience has served enormously. So that's contrast. So let's talk a little bit more about your unconscious. So this is conscious, this is unconscious, this is you, right? And 99 is unconscious, right? And here in this unconscious, you have all kind of beliefs about yourself and the world, and all that stuff. This whole root system, so to speak, of the tree, influence your conscious, and that influences the actions you take in the world. So you think you take your action from the conscious level, but actually 99% is because of this deep-rooted seated beliefs that influence or sabotage your success. So you cannot really effort your way so much to get you to your desired version. The most really work is just to figure out what's here and what's blocking you from doing the right steps to get you there. So that's basically the hard work. To become a different person, transform them. So just give an example. Um, let's say you want to manifest your love life. So a love life, this is a heart. Doesn't look like it. Okay, a heart. I'll do my best, people. A heart, right? So let's say so version 1 as in today has no relation. Version 2 has a relationship, yes relation. So if it's not manifesting right now, you hold it back, right? Or maybe something else, that's the perfect timing for the unfolding. But if you have not had that desire, or not have manifested that, and it has not come into your reality, there must be something blocking. Otherwise it would have been there. In a sense, reality is binary. So if you can hold it in your frame, it has to manifest, right? So first of all, you want to do is desire strongly how you would feel in that relationship. It starts with desire. Most people that have had a few encounters, relationship didn't really work out for some reason, they break up and so on, and you did not understand why it did not work out because of certain things, programming, and you said, bloody hell, it's not for me. You stop the desire. If you stop the desire, you're not manifesting it stuff anymore, right? So the first thing you want to ask yourself why you do not desire it, and then maybe you encounter certain beliefs that help you to reveal why it was this. So first of all, go back to the desire, right? Let's say you want to manifest a new girlfriend, and you're a bit fed up with dating or something. So you have to be clear about what you would like to see in your partner. So be clear about how you like to see this partner and how she supports you and so on. And what happens, you create over time certain life circumstances. At the moment you start to embody the future desired version, as it's already there, not in the future, but bring it to the present. What happens, you create over time certain life circumstances that brings up triggers that help you to reveal where you're not the frequency of that future desired version yet. So it's very possible that you create a lot of negative emotions throughout the days that wants to be revealed in function to become that. So that's what we call the contrast, as we discussed. Contrast, more growth, faster quantum leaping to your desires. So let's say you're going on a date, and is it still recording? And let's say you go on a date. Yeah, you say, okay, inspired action, maybe you have a look on Tinder, or maybe you meet someone in the street, and then you meet a girl and she is, what do you say, she's just leaving you, right? So, rejection. And that triggers you because you like her, and then you get fear, right? So then you have two emotions then you can thank the universe, the higher self, say, hey, higher self, you have created this, this situation for me, and triggered me, and this is actually a trigger that I want to work on in order to get at some point that partner materialized. So maybe it's not even through that date, but it helps you to reveal certain things. So let's have a look at these, thanks to these shitty life circumstances, that you feel, which word did I say, reject you, and probably that's the theme of that woman, or you don't know why, but you don't have to never have to think for another person, because when you start to think for another person, you're being on a slippery slope, because in the end you never know what another person thinking, and you also create a version of that person, because they're different version of that person, to make it even more complicated. So don't do that. Think for yourself. Try to become the best version of yourself, and then you also in service to help the world to make a better place, right? So let's say rejection, and then it brings up fear because you ask what I feel shit because rejection because I feel fear, and then you can ask I feel fear because I feel fear that I will be alone, right? For example, and I'm afraid to be alone because I become lonely. And so and then you have all kind of branches that comes up, and you can make the whole tree about what you believe it to be about this trigger. So for example, you have fear to be alone. If a person leaves you, it can be like a trauma bonding of your mom. All right. So and then you frame it. So with agreement that you're always alone because you also know that the reality is just a reflection of you, and which is agreement that that lonely is just an emotional state and has nothing so much to do with the amount of people that surround you. Some people feel lonely if they go to the concert with a million people, and another person is happy to be alone in solitude in the forest. Yes, okay. Can you let go the idea that whatever a person is doing or not doing to you has nothing to do with loneliness because it's just a state? Yes, okay. Would you agree with that? She helps you that you still have states of lonelinessness, and that helps you to reveal that actually this is the state you want to eliminate from your structure, because this is actually the state you want to get rid of, because if you are in your ideal love relationship, and then then you have in your love life you have that out. So no, then okay, alone is also just a stupid thing. So and then you can ask, why are you afraid? Yeah, I'm afraid I will, if I love a woman and she's leaving me, it can be so many funny things comes up if you start a dialogue with your unconscious program, that I will be betrayed if someone's leaving me, something like that. And then you start to ask yourself, and why are you afraid that if a beautiful woman that you like will betray you if she's walking away? And he said, it happened to me another time. And then you say, but would you agree with that at that moment, that woman that did that to you was already showing you that this was in your frequency? Yes. So would you agree with that she's actually helping you to reveal that trauma, but you didn't see that by then, and now are you ready to see that? Yes. So are you ready to clean this out right? Yes, I want to have this love. Okay, let's go for it. Pull the desire up even more, because now we know how we create the stuff, right? So then you go back, for example, to say, are you still afraid to be betrayed if you date a woman and that woman is leaving you? Say yes, because I grew up with a mother that gaslighted me, or manipulated me with the cold rejection and whole games, and I don't want to play this game anymore with a love life. So and then you can say, so would you agree with that? The mother that you had some control trauma issues from her, blah blah blah. Would you agree with that? This is what you actually want to clean out of your system, and you have an extremely beautiful restored archetype of the feminine part of you within yourself, thanks to the desire to want to manifest a woman. And this helps you to create even a more safe, secure embodiment of who you yourself are, thanks to the desire of the woman, and helps you to clean up the stuff that is making you feel unsafe in life. So you cannot make it. I'm making up some sort of a story here, but this is how it goes, and this is how you start cleaning up the whole system. So the whole idea about manifesting is try to interpret how and why you create life circumstances, and be consistent in it, be persistent in what you want, no matter what is showing up, and see everything that you manifest during the days in function to your future desired version. And that's what a lot of people do not fully integrate, and then they get lost in that contrast, in that negative experiences throughout the days, because they see that as a how do you say that? It's like it is like against them. If something is slowing down, because they think this is like. But no, you can see everything in function to get there, as long as you can see how and why it could serve you to transform something. And often a lot of things that you want to manifest, something like that, and you follow your higher self, highest excitement, you create a path that has seemingly nothing to do with these things, let's say if you're a woman and you want to date a man, you want to have the love life of blah blah, and then suddenly you have trouble with your boss at work, and you think like, what the heck, has this something to do with my ideal love life? And then you start to see, fuck, this guy is an authoritarian guy, he's making me feel afraid. And it's like, yeah, well, hey, maybe I'm afraid for men that have authority or something like that, or abuse of their authority. And that's still in my program that triggers me. So if I work to stay in peace and harmony while working for this boss, I see the boss as a co-creative component for who I am, why I have manifested. And it's actually my this boss, negative boss, is helping me to manifest me to the frequency to manifest that ideal husband or something like that. So you really want to be playful with with a certain love thing. So sometimes the desire you have, it's not even manifesting, but it brings you to another thing, and that brings you to another thing. So it's really ping-ponging with different layers of consciousness and feelings and emotions. But it also helps you to become a fully version, because in the fifth density, where the imaging takes place, you already contain everything already. So the only thing you really do is in the 3D is carving your ego structure and learning to deliberate manifest your desires and have a shitload of fun. So it's just more playing left, right with circumstances, and just carve out yourself to, leveling up your frequency, clean out all the fears, sadnesses, and also understand that nothing can really overcome you, really, because everything happens through you. And this is what I teach in my coaching, and this is how I create the results for myself and for my clients, from diseases to manifesting love life, houses. It becomes so fun, so loving to do so. And you want to become your fullest version. One of the things, I also use, I've been like 20 years astrology. This is stuff, this is an horoscope. We work with that as well. That's also fun you can see a little bit the archetypes of what you're here for in this lifetime, because it can really help you. Not so much that you have to trust an horoscope, but mostly it can really help you to speed up a little bit with some archetypes that you want to clean out. So as an inspiration more, but it is fun. It is fun. It's not a scary thing. So just felt like sharing this, and have a wonderful day. Ciao.